ice cream, and I guess it's like one of the most popular flavors now. So it's got a very kind of almost like vanilla flavor, but a little bit more like pistachio. And you can mix it with coconut, which we know that I love.
I'm on board with that.
And so it's got this, it could be like enthusiastic woman because it's got that bright pastel color. And a lot of times it can be made dairy-free. There's a lot of dairy-free recipes. And it can be, like almost like a healthier alternative. And you could mix it with like a crinkle cookie, and it could just be this sort of like new punchy thing, ube.
That was surprisingly good as well. So we need to figure out a way to do a hybrid.
I told you it was a showstopper.
So can we get your ube with her real Tacolat?
Real Tacolat.
Yeah. We can have more than one brand. I'm okay with that.
I don't know.
There's
Ube Coco is pretty cool.
Ube Coco. Why do they have to compete? Can we
we could have a couple. We could have real Tacolat, and then we could do the ube. But I think the ube is going to be more popular.
Ube's more fun to say.
Yeah.
And less and more difficult to describe though. I feel like real Tacolat would just sell because people get it away.
Yeah.
Yours is super popular. I think that we have to come up with some sort of thing. We need to take it to one of the fancy ice cream shops here in the Twin Cities, and they can make one of those 51 scoop type monstrosities like at Izzy's. So then we'll do that. So they'll probably take both.
I have recipes for mine already.
All right.
Nice.
We'll put that out there, and then we can come up with maybe we can do it at one of the MSP Now events.
Absolutely. Yep. Okay. Come bring your ice cream. We're totally down.
Yeah, I'll get us an ice cream maker. I don't mind getting. I
used to have an ice cream maker, but I had to get rid of it because I didn't have enough space anymore.
Oh no, I still have room. It's in the basement next to the wine that I haven't made. So next to the wine things. All right, we'll do that. So
okay.
That is all good.
Well, that's our ice cream topic.
All right,
Satisfied?
Bree, so
I'm okay. I feel okay. We didn't talk about nougat, but I'm okay. That's fine.
Well, who really wanted to talk about nougat? I think that's
all right.
That has been today's Product Displacement. Product Displacement, again, brought to you by our Enthusiastic Woman online network and the new Enthusiastic Woman record label, Enthusiatunes. Now, a word from Enthusiastic Woman founder and CEO, Verbena Wackenby.
Hello. I'm thrilled to bestow my latest discovery upon you. Last summer, during a weekend walk to northwestern Minnesota, I decided to attend Catfish Days on the banks of the Red River of the North. While enjoying Beans on the Bank Chili Festival, I became aware of the magical sound that spoke directly to my soul. It was the musical stylings of three gentlemen, a musical trio known as the Cousin Brothers. Their music was like a conversation between angels. Angels who happened to play the harmonica. I immediately implored them to join the Enthusiastic Woman Network, even though they are neither women nor enthusiastic. To my joy, they agreed. The Cousin Brothers will now bring musical inspiration to our viewers, and today you can purchase their debut album, East Side Light, released on the new Enthusiastic Woman record label. Don't hesitate, ladies. All enthusiastic women need Cousin Brothers in their lives.
Brought to you by the Enthusiastic Woman online network, We Birth Success. We do need Cousin Brothers. I didn't know I needed it, but I also didn't know that I needed chocolate or nougat potato thingy that you made up.
Ube.
Now it's time as we move on to Did You See This? I know that our debate has also started, so I know that people might be chiming in if something amazing is going on during the debate. Bree, this is the topic that what Judy mentioned earlier that we thought you might be very interested in. There's a new women's wellness fitness app that's out there.
Well, okay. This was a story that we were coming up with about wearable tech for women. And while researching it, I came across a story written by a woman who's in the health tech industry called It's a Huge Problem That Most Health Apps Are Created by Men. And this talked about, there's all these menstruation trackers, and they're created by men, and they look like flowers, and they're bright pink,
right? And
they have the idea that, oh my gosh, it's so great that you are menstruating. Happy flower, happy time. It doesn't really look at it
like
the way,
a flower,
right? And then the other,
which is what they mentioned as well.
And then the other thing it does is it takes it for granted with the pregnancy tracker that every woman's trying to get pregnant.
That if you're tracking that's why.
Yeah,
That's the only
maybe I
reason
want
you could want to know.
It might just be, I want to know what's going on in my life, and I can plan around this time because I'm probably going to be upset, or kind of thing.
or you don't want to get pregnant too.
Exactly.
So you want to know. There's no look at it from the woman's point of view. Well, at the same time, we came up with the idea to talk about this story. A story broke last week. It was pretty much everywhere about how these period tracker apps are sharing women's sensitive data with Facebook. You probably heard about this.
Yeah.
And this was really interesting. It just turns out that this is really valuable information to advertisers.
Right.
Particularly about when women are becoming pregnant.
Right.
Because advertisers, that's a gold mine, this type of time when women become pregnant. And I thought it was even more interesting that it's this huge problem that women aren't in this space.
Right. And you can really just tell the way that they kind of just slapshod all of these things into these projects. Because I just went through a buying spree where I was looking for a new smartwatch. And I was looking, I know what I wanted, but I didn't want to pay for that one. So I was looking for the knockoff one that had it. And I remember that one of the ones I had before, and I wasn't even looking for this, but it did have, that period tracker. And I am not at that point in my life. I've already had my kid. I'm not looking to have another kid. I don't want to track it. So I felt like it was a big disconnect to even have it available. But it even made me think more about the way that they market these to women. And the fact that there was this new wearable that was not only marketed from it's a product that actually provides useful information to you. It's a product that looks classy and is something that a woman would want. But it was a female-driven company, so they were adding in different methodology in what apps were available.
Let's circle back to Bella B, which is the thing that I wanted to talk about, which was a wearable jewelry for women. Now, Bella B isn't necessarily new. It's been around for a number of years. It just has never hit it big. Bella B is wearable tech jewelry. It was founded by a Croatian mathematician named Sandro Mur and a Slovenian artist named Urska Sursen. Now,
I'm sure your pronunciation is
I
perfect.
have no idea.
Just so you know, Bree, our general idea when we have words that we've never had to say out loud is just say them with confidence and move on.
The artist,
if you have a name like that, you are accustomed to it being butchered, so we will butcher it in the most appropriate way.
Either way, the artist is a woman.
Correct.
So founded by two people, one of which was a woman. And it's really an interesting app it does, or tech. There's this leaf that you can either wear as a necklace or a bracelet. It doesn't have a face on it that tells you anything, but it tracks your sleep. It tracks your, it's like a period cycle tracker. It tracks your activity.
So it's like a bio tracker without email.
Correct.
And it was really
interesting.
One of the most interesting things that it has on here, and like I said, this isn't new. It's been around for a while. It says right on it, your data is safe with us.
Right.
Which you trust us, our products and apps. You give us the insight into your lifestyle. We're committed to keeping it. You trust the data you share with us is always encrypted and will never be shared by an external third party. Now, you do buy a subscription to this. Now, most of the apps and trackers are completely free.
Right. Because they make their money on the advertising.
Exactly.
They have a complete airtight privacy policy, but this is a very different tracker and health app for women.
It made me
it's
think
quite
about
lovely.
And every one that I've looked at did have a different proprietary third-party app that was involved with it that might talk to. In my case, it was it talks to Google Fit, but it still is a matter of how much do you let all of these different apps get into your life? Because we just click on things and we go, well, here's what I want. I want it to count my steps appropriately. I want it to maybe let me know if I'm having any heart palpitations. And the other thing that it made me think about is, yes, I want to make sure that it works into what my idea of a healthy lifestyle is, but the way that it markets to it, like if you look at a lot of the apps, it was even talking about the marketing thing, and that's what I thought was interesting too, is that if you look at an app and a fitness app, you could clearly, it was still going through that male gaze because the video, the vision, the images that were involved with it were of
Terrible.
a particular style of woman or
Right.
particular image that was involved. And a statistic that I thought was interesting in the one article that was talking about how they market these to women is that clearly, as far as that body, having a body positive idea is clearly not something that they're worrying about women having. Because they were talking about the methodology behind it, and that even though if you look at obesity rates here in America, the male, sorry to any guys in the room, males have a higher obesity rate, but nobody says anything about it.
Oh, right. Well, it's
Super
okay
pound
for
on
them
about
to be
it.
fat. That's
Exactly.
totally fine.
Now it's just dad bod and it's sexy, and we just we figure out a
We're
way to
into it now.
We
Yeah.
change the narrative because we're like, it looks like they spend time with me and just they won't cheat because they'll just stay in the house.
Listen, we can't yell at Leonardo DiCaprio, so I guess we're into it.
Right, exactly. It was interesting to see that even though that there was a higher obesity rate with men, it was still marketed towards women.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It is interesting that this particular piece of wearable tech is so low key.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only one out of all the health apps, out of anything I could find that had any kind of woman owner or designer involved
Right.
with it. It's got no scandal involved with it, but it's not particularly popular.
I hadn't heard of it. I thought it was new.
It's not new at
Okay.
all. I mean, I found an article about it on BuzzFeed where one of their writers tried it out from 2016, and she loved it. The battery lasts for 6 months, and it syncs. It does all these. She's like, I like it. I'll totally use it. I mean, it's been around for years, and they just keep improving it. But it's not very well known.
No.
I don't know if it's because the owners are just like, whatevs. But I wear the Apple Watch. It took Apple till like a year ago to add a lot of women's features to this, and they're terrible.
Correct. So you don't even use them.
No, and I
No.
think having a woman creator in this one that you're talking about, what's it called again? The Bella Beat?
It's called
Bella
Bella
Beat.
Beat.
Bella Beat. Yeah, I think having a woman creator is also probably why they have different privacy restrictions for them.
Right.
I think so. 'Cause
Some of what has been shared with Facebook is not just when are you getting pregnant and when are you on your period, but the diary entries where
Correct.
people are
Yes.
saying this is how I feel today.
Right.
because
and
they can
And then they can
track
follow
that
you
too.
with those
Yeah.
ads.
Exactly.
Yep.
And they're tracking when you had sex.
Right.
Yep.
So
Right.
to
Right.
fast forward just real quick, like the idea that Facebook is having a dating app and they know when I'm having sex if I was using one of these apps, like no, thank you, shut it down. Like
Yeah.
this is a whole nightmare.
And we'll
So
be
I-
getting to that
I
in
really
a later
wanna get-
segment on our show.
I really want to get to I really want to get to the Facebook dating app. I know we want to watch the thing. So let's go ahead and move on to our next segment so we
Yeah.
can get through this. Because
But
I think
yeah.
that you'll find this interesting because it
But
does
this
kind of
was
does.
this was kind of a serendipitous topic that we picked this week because
Right.
there's so much in the news with it.
Right.
And
Yep.
anyways, we'll put stuff about Bella Beat on our
Because we do
Facebook
think that people
page,
should
too.
check it out. And if you
It's
are
an
using it, we
interesting
wanna
little
know.
piece of technology designed by a woman for women that does all these things that you can't trust the other technology as far as I'm concerned.
And today we're going to do Does This Make Me Old? Does This Make Me Old is brought to you by Enthusiastic Women Online and the Enthusiastic Women suite of self-improvement products. Today in Does This Make Me Old, I have a list of, thanks to Vogue magazine, the 7 beauty trends you need to know for fall, winter 2019-2020. So we know that these lists always start coming out this time of year. I thought this was really interesting. Like I even wasted my printer ink on this because I wanted to make sure that if you hadn't seen this, Bree, you got to see it. Because a lot of these beauty these beauty trends I thought were interesting because a lot of them are what I consider very throwbacky. So if you go ahead and look through there's 7 of them that are here.
I have 2 particular favorites
And
on
so
this list.
they start off, so I'll let you take a look at that real quick. So we'll just go through them real quick, 1 through 7. So number 1 is the arty eyelashes. And so what they consider...
One of my personal faves.
And so I thought it was interesting. And so, Bree, just to let you know, because you are not as familiar with my 2 enthusiastic friends, Samantha Masaya and Judy Carter, as I am, I could go through this list by list and go, Judy will try this, and Samantha will have nothing to do with it. Just want to let you know, of the 7 things on this list, I presumed that my friend Samantha would have nothing to do with 6 of the 7.
You would be correct.
Which one is she going to do? Which one is she going to do?
Okay, I'm going to tell you the one that I think that she will get to when we get to, because there's only one that I'm like, Samantha will try that when she gets
what
home.
is it?
Wait, okay, so the arty eyelashes. So what the arty eyelashes are is that they were saying that eyes took the spotlight in fall, winter 2019-2020. And so they have a spotlight on lashes. And this is what I think is very interesting. And this is one of those things that I think is clearly an artistic trend that nobody in real life is going to do. Because all of us here, we like to try stuff, but this is like having like fuzzy eyelashes.
No, they're
It's like
bananas.
having like overdone top and bottom.
I'm sorry, who has the
eyelashes.
time?
Nobody has the time. That is exactly the answer.
Crazy.
You'll do this once and then you'll go. The other thing that I thought was very interesting about most of these